Hello and welcome back to Coach's Corner. I'm here with Coach Schmidlkofer from the boys lacrosse team, who beat McIntosh last night to win the area. So, how you feeling today after the win?
Oh man, great. It's been great. A lot of good vibes today in school, so it's been fun. A lot of students turned out last night. We really appreciate that.
Yeah, half the stadium looked like a football game.
It did. It was kind of, yeah, it was. I looked around a couple of times. I'm like, wow, a lot of people, a lot of interest. It's a fun game to watch. Even if you don't know a whole lot about it, it's still, a lot of fun to watch. Two good programs. McIntosh got a great program as well.
So, after that win, winning the area and everything, can you just give me your thoughts on, the season as a whole so far?
Well, we battled some issues earlier, just trying to maintain our focus. I think sometimes dealing with high schoolers, you tend to get wrapped up in your record, and that really doesn't indicate how good you are. So, we were fortunate to play a team that beat us up on the road last Friday, Harrison, and I think that really helped us get through last night. I don't know if we would have beat McIntosh if we wouldn't have went through that a little adversity with Harrison. So, that's the good thing about, because McIntosh is a very, very, very good team. Very dangerous, a lot of weapons, well coached. So, we were all waiting for that moment last night. That's kind of what we were playing for, to control our own destiny. And at this point, we still do. So, we got a number 1 seed, and that's 2 home playoff games starting in a week after next. So we're excited. Guys are excited.
So, one thing I'm kind of curious about is at halftime it was 6-6 and the game looked neck and neck, and then you guys shut them out in the third quarter. Was it something just in the players' minds, or what? Did you tell them something? What changed?
No, we felt like we had the numbers at the midfield. So we had a lot of kids that could play, and their numbers were a little down this year. So we just, we wanted to possess the ball a little bit more on offense. Probably, really and truly, that was probably the best quarter we had played all year. We took care of the ball. We made them turn the ball over a couple of times. We got a big man down. We were man down and got a big stop. Went down after a timeout and scored to make it 9-6. So that was a huge quarter and a huge momentum change for us. And the players, give them credit. They just executed. It was about execution and playing together. They executed. It was great.
So, with every game on the schedule, or not every game I should say, but most of the games, you guys have been winning by 15 to 20 goals. So how important do you think it is to have this tough game right here before the playoffs?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, that's going back to what I said earlier about Harrison. I mean, you're not going to walk through the playoffs with 15 goal wins. I mean, that's just not going to happen. You just kind of survive and advance to the next round. That's your whole MO as a team. Because all 16 teams that are in can play. So, it was. That's kind of where you try to get to the end of the season and make sure you're playing your best lacrosse at the end of the year. We got senior night Monday night. Send those guys out right, and then we got a week of practice, and we'll see what we can do in the first round.
I think that's kind of something that happened to last year's team. They won 16 or 17 games in a row by large amounts. They got to the playoffs and
exactly
just kind of weren't ready for it.
And don't think that hadn't been brought up several thousand times in practice, because they know that feeling. They remember it. All these guys are back. The seniors, they're gone, but that night walking off that field after you go 17-1 and you're 1 and done in the playoffs is not exactly what you want to get to as a program. So, hopefully we'll see some dividends to that, and see some benefits at the end of the year, the playoff game, and see how we play. And but whoever comes in from that region will either be like a Wesleyan or a Buford, or they're going to be good. And they're that first round game is tough, so we've got to play.
And we're fighting with Buford for the Directors Cup right now.
Yeah.
And but you talked about some of the seniors leaving last year, and I think a big one was Drew Vandemotter as our goalie. And then I think when we talked at the beginning of the year, you were talking about Derek Saylor coming as a sophomore and filling those shoes. How do you feel about how he's done?
Derek's done fantastic. You know, to throw a sophomore out there, which it's been a long time since we've had a sophomore. I don't think we've ever had a sophomore goalie. You know, everybody's been upperclassman, junior, senior. He's done a good job. You know, Coach Haskins has done a former goalie himself. He's done a great job of getting him ready. And, you know, Derek, like we gave the game ball to Derek last night because I thought he had some huge stops, you know, in a big game, and he played fantastic. I'm proud of Derek. He's just got to continue to work, you know, and, you know, I think one thing we did last year a little bit too, when we beat McIntosh last year, we thought our season was over, you know, and we got to enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, but we got to put it behind us, you know, after the weekend, and let's look on to East Coweta, you know, but, you know, Derek was a big reason why we were able to win that game last night. He had some big saves.
So, outside of Derek, who do you think have been some of the biggest impact players for this team this year?
Oh, well, there's several. I mean, I can't name enough. I mean, you know, a guy comes to mind, you know, of course, Evan Torres. But he can't do it. The thing is, the guys are realizing they can't do it by themselves because they look good because somebody else did their job. Then there's Avery, you know, Avery's great stick skills. Then you got Ethan, and then you got, you know, Reed Harrison, and then you got your midfielders. You know, Cole Colson is always in the right place at the right time. He plays hard. You know, you got Joey DeLuca. Then of course you got Ryan Cox facing off. Then you got Garrett Munich last night. You know, facing off and getting us. I mean, it just goes on and on and on. I mean, you know, you got guys coming off the bench like Sean Moore and Jack Lawson, and you know, another senior, Will Griffin. So I mean, the names just go on and on because Justin Yagi played well last night, had 2 goals, I think. So, you know, I mean, it's a team sport, and I really hate to call out individuals because they can't do it without each other. But you know, there's obviously some guys out there that are playing at a high level. So, and then they know that. You know, I tell them that all the time. They know that, and they've bought in. I'm extremely proud of this team, and I really feel like we can play it to mid-May. If we play, we can play with anybody. You know,
So do you think this team is ready for a state championship?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we gotta be able to defend, and we gotta have some lax IQ, and we gotta be able to execute at critical parts of the game, which sometimes last night it got away from us a little bit. We had a couple of times where we could really ice the game, and we didn't, and we let them hang around. You can't do that against these teams coming up. You know, McIntosh is very similar to the teams that we're going to play with in the playoff. And last night that game could have gone either way. I mean, we came out on the top end, but it could have went either way. And I think everybody that was there saw that. You know, so.
Okay, that's all I have.
Great.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No, you guys
Congrats
did
on the
great.
area title. Thank you guys for tuning in. There will be a story about the 2 McIntosh games last night that I'll be writing. You can see it on the prowlernews.org in the coming days. And thank you, and we'll see you next time.